Hello, Blizzard fans! This is FalconPaladin coming to you with yet another daily Blizzard upload. This is a game between CoraZ and CrazyFrog on Bridgehead, the latter edition. Everybody remembers CrazyFrog, right? It was a ringtone, it was mixed into a 1980s song that went like this. I think it was from the movie Beverly Hills Cop with Eddie Murphy. I know most of you honestly don't remember that movie or probably weren't even born when it came out, but it was a pretty big sensation at the time. And that song was from that, and somebody mixed in CrazyFrog from like the mid-aughts, like mid-2000s with that, and it was huge. I don't know why. Regardless, on the right side of Bridgehead, the latter edition, we have the red Zerg player. It is CoraZ. Going for that pool first. And on the left side of Bridgehead, the latter edition, we have the blue Zerg player, CrazyFrog. Alright. There's also, a proxy hatch coming up from CrazyFrog. Alright, so I think we proxy hatch here, get spines to take down these rocks, and then flood lings in the back door. I don't know if this is a great idea, just because this ramp can't really be defended either. Like, if you want to make a lot of lings, just run them through the front door. This totally makes sense against Terran and against Protoss, but especially where this Overlord's going to scout it immediately, I just don't see how CrazyFrog's strategy is going to work here. Yep, here comes the Overlord checking this back rocks and saying, oh, look at that, a proxy hatch. Fancy that. Spawning pool, gas coming up. It is going to be a speedling type of an all-in here from CrazyFrog. Might abandon that, considering the fact that it just got scouted like crazy. CoraZ making 2 lings, probably going to run down here and try to kill this before anything crazy happens. Also taking an expansion of his own, though. So that's pretty nice. Anyway, Overlord backs on out, saying if a queen pops out here, I don't want to take any shots from the face. I'm going to stay up on this high ground. Thank you very much. Back in Blue Zerg land, the spawning pool has not even popped yet. So what are we doing with these lings? Yep, the lings are running out. They are slow. They'll take forever to get here. Nope, there's the cancel. CrazyFrog cancels the crazy strategy. And all that's left is a little piece of creep that slowly evaporates into the grass. Unfortunate. I kind of wanted to see that be attempted, just because I'm not sure why it's viable in ZVZ. The lings come down and say, okay, they really did cancel that hatchery. There's nothing to do here. Checking around for maybe a replacement of that hatch. You never know. The fog of war is big. You never ever know when the Zerg that you just proxy hatched you is going to try to proxy hatch you somewhere else. So here we come with 6 lings moving across the map and 8 lings now total. Coming on out. Speed is on the way. Going to finish for both these players at about the same time, though. We do have a spine crawler popping up, a defensive spine here for CoraZ, just in case something happens while he's out on the map with these lings. 2 lings versus 6 lings. Usually 6 lings wins that battle. There are no queens here either to help out. Are we going to try to go up this ramp is the question. Good scouting Overlord sees the number of lings down here, and here we come. Slow versus slow. CrazyFrog knows this is not a good place to be and backs out now at a 6 versus 6. 6 slow versus 6 slow. I think I might try to actually get some micro here. Take down the weakened Zergling. Nah, CoraZ is just going to hang out. There's a queen here now too, so that's a problem. Queen checking to see there's not an Overlord over there. More and more lings popping up, though. Ling on ling action. Haven't seen this for a while. Behind a 3rd base, though, from CoraZ. Not messing around. The speedlings come in, try to get a surround on the queen. All the drones are forced to fight as well. I can never tell who's going to win these battles. The lings are inside this drone line. So many drones are dying, but guess what? So many lings are dying as well. Reinforcements, though, streaming out across this map. Roaches have just popped for CrazyFrog just in time. Right now, it is, in fact, 21 to 17 Harvesters. CoraZ is up. But for how much longer is the question. Getting a full surround on everything. I don't know if this is actually going to work. All the roaches are alive. The queen is still alive, and we back out again. CoraZ tried to make that happen, but the micro here from CrazyFrog was pretty good, using the drones to absorb some of the shots, but not really allowing too many of them to die. Really, look at that. Only 2 drones and 8 lings have died for CrazyFrog, and CoraZ lost 15 lings. That is pretty unfortunate for our red Zerg player. CoraZ going to town on this debris back here, but there's an Overlord scouting it again. So nothing too sneaky is going to happen. Plus, look how slowly these lings take down these rocks. Yep, it is rocks. Just like slowly moving down piece by piece, giving all the time in the world to CrazyFrog to react. A spine coming up of CrazyFrog's own. Right around, where is that thing? Why can I never see these? There it is, behind the mineral line is a good place for it. But the ling's back on out. CoraZ not interested in really fighting too much. These Overlords are hanging out. They're bros. They're like, hey, you want to come over sometime and watch some football and get some pizza? And he's like, yeah, that sounds great. He's like, just don't tell my Overlord, or don't tell the queens, I guess. Tell Kerrigan, the Overmind. Who do Overlords report to directly here? It used to be the Overmind, but that's gone now. Who knows? Ling's going to try to take down these rocks, I suppose. But again, Overlord scouting things out exactly. The Roach is doing a much, much better job at killing rocks, getting easy access to this third base. But again, being scouted out, and here comes a big swell of Speedlings to deal with this. But there are Roaches, and the Lings try to get a surround on the Roaches, but not going to happen. Good micro here by CrazyFrog, not allowing the surround, getting up against that wall. And CoraZ is forced to back out. These rocks, I think, are going to die. The question is, how do we respond to it if we are CoraZ? CoraZ is getting a Hydralisk Den, which is good, and a couple Spines as well. Spine here is going to finish in time. I don't think it is. Another Spine popping up, but I think it's just too late. All we can hold this off with is a few Lings, and 18 Lings are in production, though. That's pretty good stuff. Queen as well, helping out on the DPS front. More Lings streaming in piece by piece, getting us around on one of those Roaches. It does survive, and now the Spine Crawler's up. That helps a lot against this Roach incursion. Small group of Lings trying to come and catch reinforcing units. Maybe kill stuff while the army is away from home, but coming on back home again is CrazyFrog. And going right past the Spine Crawler. Can we kill this Queen? Going after it, trying to make it happen. The red Zerglings are all gone, though, and the Queen is still alive. This Queen has taken a lot of damage. Has 4 kills, is a Predator Queen. Playing this super well. Lair coming up for CrazyFrog. CoraZ already has one. Has had one for quite a while now. And getting that Muscular Augments upgrade to make the Hydralisks faster and shoot farther, which is always nice. Hydralisks are good, but they're so much better when they're fast with better range. Both players kind of sitting back. CrazyFrog stuck on this 2 base. Hasn't really felt comfortable enough to take a third or really had the econ for it. That Roach attack took a lot of resources to happen and really didn't do anything. Like, we knocked down those rocks and we killed a bunch of Lings, but we didn't get any drone kills, any Queen kills, anything of consequence. CrazyFrog definitely playing on the back foot. We have an Evolution Chamber popping up as well for CoraZ. Trying to get those upgrades. Meanwhile, +1 missile attack and Carapace coming up for CrazyFrog at the same time. Queen chasing out off the creep decides to back out. Not interested in really exposing herself in the middle of Nowheresville just to kill a single Overlord. Who knows if there are Zerglings lurking in the fog of war that could come kill her. So she decides to make a prudent decision, go back where she feels safe. Probably, nope, can't quite inject yet. Not enough to inject. I think we used a Creep Tumor instead. We did. Creep Tumored there, waiting for the energy to get that automatic inject back up. This is the latest patch, so the amount of larvae we get from an extra inject is 3. In addition to the ones that come normally from the hatchery. Lurker Den being morphed in by CoraZ, and CrazyFrog getting a Hydralisk Den of his own. What is that sound? What are we doing? Ah, just taking out these little rocks here at the top of the ramp. Making a wider concave available if defense is required. I like that choice. It seems very nice. Ling's just scouting things out. Trying to see what they can see. CoraZ gonna lose a Ling though. Boop. And he does. CrazyFrog coming in, but there are Spines and Queens, and I just bam, 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 and bam, bam. All those Lings end up dead. They did scout out that, hey, there's a base here, but I think they already knew that. This Ling trying to get through, being chased by another Speedling. Speedling versus Speedling. Who's going to win this battle? And it's going to be very close. No! CoraZ wins. CrazyFrog does not see the timing on this 4th base, but has established a 3rd base of his own. Overseer coming up as well, saying, you know what, Lurkers are a thing. In Legacy of the Void, I want to be able to sure I can see them. I haven't been able to scout very well, right? Can't see anything in here. Can't see this Lurker Den, that's for sure. But just in case, you pretty much have to assume in Legacy of the Void in ZVZ, Lurkers are going to come up because they are so good. They do so well against Hydras and Lings. They do pretty well against Roaches. Oh, we have Burrow. Ah, burrowing a couple Hydras here. We'll have to see if that actually comes into play or not. We're going to take out this Overlord with these Hydras. I do not really know. Popping up again, though, everybody back together, a big happy family. Scouting Ling does manage to see this base timing, but I don't know what information that really gives him. Just means that CoraZ is kind of up on bases, which is not a good place to be. And are we going to take down these rocks? Yes, so much faster with Hydras, with Lings, but the Roach army's here. They have a pretty good concave. They're going to split up. Excellent choice. We're going to run in here or not. We do. CoraZ going for it. The Lings come in. Get us around on the Roaches from the north. The Hydras taking out the Roaches from the south. Spinecrawler as well under attack. Does explode. The Hydras retreat though. And the Roaches win that push. A couple Hydras mixed in as well just for that extra DPS. +1/+1 is available. But there are Lurkers now. I think maybe, yeah, I think we're trying to bait at this point. Bait a CrazyFrog to come out. But the Lings actually sticking around a lot longer than I thought. Hydras as well, doing their damage from the backside, not taking any hits at all. That's exactly what you want to see. The Lurkers are now in the territory of CrazyFrog, though, forcing CrazyFrog to back out. The Queen ends up dead as well. The Hydras going after this hatchery. They're going to take it down very, very quickly. CrazyFrog responds, though, but so worried about those spines. Oh, bad positioning there by the hiders. They end up melted by the acid saliva. Ugh. Bad times indeed. Lurkers again, I think. Are we just going for it? Why are we going for it? No, no, no. CrazyFrog, run. Oh, my goodness. Ooh. 1 kill, 3 kill, 1 kill. That's it. They spread out their kills pretty well. This base is not long for the world for CrazyFrog. Spore Crawler trying to burrow in range to where it can see these lurkers, but I just don't know if this is enough units to even kill them, even if you can see them. He needs to make a move now or he's going to lose this base. Nope, too late. Lost it. The Lings come in, are fighting Broodlings. That's not what you want if you're CoraZ, but getting a full surround on these roaches and these hiders. They do not have any upgrades at all, but I don't know if it really matters. The hiders from the back helping greatly. At the same time, the Lurkers burrow. CrazyFrog doesn't get out of there, and roaches die, hydras die. But at the same time, Lurkers actually dying as well. All the Lurkers are dead. Some Lings come in to clean things up. I don't think there's enough to actually kill all of these hydras, however, but still, CrazyFrog is stuck on 2 bases. Not a place you want to be. Definitely not. Look at all these bases available for CoraZ right now. It's 95 to 70 total supply, 57 to 46 workers, but 46 workers on 2 bases is definitely oversaturated. Look at this. 20 here, 16 here, nothing here because this is not in existence yet. CoraZ really needs to push the advantage. Get those upgrades. There we go. Getting a hive, researching more and more lurkers, I guess morphing lurkers, keeping that Ling production up. I think if you want to keep going Lings at this point, you really should get upgrades for them. Look at this. +1 available, +2 available. So I guess the Lings are a little bit more tanky than they usually are, but they're Lings. Let's not kid ourselves. Wow, CrazyFrog, very gutsily, with a lot of guts, taking a 4th base there. Just trying to keep up in economy with CoraZ. This might actually work. Honestly, the 57 to 41. I was going to say CrazyFrog's not too far behind in workers, but definitely is at this point. Missile attack level 2 on the way, and Carapace level 2 coming up for CoraZ. CrazyFrog getting a lurker den of his own, as well as Carapace level 2. Level 2. Hanging out in the middle of the map is CoraZ, just checking things out, seeing this nice little pyramid square thing. This is a nice place to vacation, they think to themselves. Throwing up lurkers at these choke points. I like this. Right on top of the bridges. If the army wants to come through here to attack CoraZ, CrazyFrog must cross these bridges. It's a strategy I'm familiar with in Age of Empires. And yeah, another base coming up for CrazyFrog. Wow! Really trying to make up for lost time, taking out all of these bases. A group comes on in. You probably should have an overseer with you because, again, lurkers are a thing. And killing these creep tumors would be good as well. But the Ling's trying to come in, but they meet up with a big army of Roach Hydra Ling of his own for CrazyFrog, and he has observers, or overseers rather, with his army, so I don't know how that's going to work. The Lurkers, again, are just kind of hanging out on the bridge. They're not going to be here for attack, I don't think. Yeah, we're slowly pushing them forward. These ones are going to stay out. Nope, just kidding, they're coming up as well. Slow, inexorable push forward with the Lurkers. Upgrades are at +1/+1. So Lurker versus Lurker action here. +1/+2. Carapace on these Lurkers for CrazyFrog, the blue Zerg player, doing pretty well considering they lost their 3rd base here just a couple minutes ago. Is now up to 55 to 44 harvesters. CrazyFrog-ish. Probably should saturate this a little bit better if he possibly can. I like these roaches mixed in. They tank a lot of the damage, allowing the hiders and the lurkers in the back to do a lot more than they would normally be able to do. Look at all this Ling production, though. We don't have any melee attacks, do we? Ooh, and Vipers. Vipers as well. Oh, Blinding Cloud on top of Lurkers, I think, is what we're going to go for CoraZ. That's just so strong. Locking down the Lurkers while the rest of your army comes in and kills everything is just sad. It's just a little overpowered, to be entirely honest. So we'll see what the Vipers can do, though. We are getting... Is that Pneumatopized Carapace? It is. Pneumatopized... Pneumaticized Carapace. I don't know. Regardless, we're pushing on up. CoraZ going for it, but the Lurkers are here, and a Ravager. Throwing down that Corrosive Bile and missing entirely. Lurkers trying to get into a good angle to attack, and they do. Trying to kill a Creep Tumor, does manage to get it. Here come the Vipers. Are we going to do Blinding Cloud? Ugh, both the Lurkers are dead, though. And yep, Blinding Cloud right on top of everything. The Lurkers are not a factor here. The Lings can kill whatever they want to. The Hiders in the back as well doing a pretty good job. Lurkers from the south for CoraZ really cleaning up here. The Ravager is dead. The Roaches holding their own pretty darn well. CoraZ, though. Oh. Yeah, actually, CrazyFrog managing to hold his own, taking out another Lurker. These 2 Lurkers as well don't line up for him, though. Ooh, Hydra is actually taking too much damage. They end up dead. These Lurkers are still alive with 6 kills and 5 kills. The Vipers are here saying, did we do a good job? Did we do a good job? I don't know. Roaches are better at this kind of thing. And both of those Lurkers die in acid saliva. Nothing can really shoot up, though, against these Roaches. So the Vipers are safe for the time being. Creep spread kind of getting out of control here for CoraZ. 8 Hydras in production for CrazyFrog. 160 to 111 total supply. CoraZ is hanging on, trying to make this work. This base is up, though, for CrazyFrog. I don't think he's really saturated it, but it is 64 to 60 harvesters. 63 harvesters for CrazyFrog. Excuse me, the economy is through the roof for both players right now, and here comes the attack. The Lings come right on in, stand on top of that Lurker, and do they manage to kill it before all of them die? Just barely. Getting us around on that Queen. There's really not much of a response here from CrazyFrog. What's he doing? He is sending the Roach squad out. All the drones are forced to retreat, though. The Roaches are going to kill all of these Lings if they stay, but they do retreat. They say, never mind, sorry, don't mind us. We killed one of your queens and a bunch of your drones, but don't bother us anymore. 7 drones have died all game for CrazyFrog. I'm kind of surprised by that. I thought he would have lost more, but no, definitely not. There's an Overlord here just kind of hanging out for CrazyFrog. A little bit in a dangerous spot. There are Hydras within spitting distance. Are we actually going to kill it? Yes, we are. Seize it. Overlord says, I was just enjoying the view, and dies and falls down into this crevice between the rocks and the palm trees, and just a sad, sad way to go. Here we come with a pretty Roach heavy composition. Roach Hydra, good spread here though. Don't go in there, and no, CrazyFrog does not. Is now being chased back by these Lings, trying to get a surround, and actually is forcing them to stand and fight, but don't you run into those Lurkers. That's right, CoraZ. You're better than that. Don't run into those Lurkers. You know better. You have been trained better. Alright, so moving back out. Just who's going to make the first move here is the question. This is quite a number of Lurkers. They do have +2/+2 upgrades. Carapace coming up as well for CoraZ, level 3. And melee attack, level 1. Hurry! And chitinous plating. Are we going to see Ultras? I think we're going to see Ultras. That would be pretty good here as well. Lurkers do pretty well against Ultralisks, though. I'm not sure that's the greatest choice, but in limited numbers, I guess no more than 5 or 6 Lurkers maybe might be okay for those Ultralisks to be able to handle. I don't know. Spores and spines being made, defensive structures being placed pretty much everywhere for CrazyFrog just to deal with those crazy Ling run-bys, except for right here. This is still pretty open to attack. CrazyFrog going to take out these... Oh, just kidding. I was going to say take out these Lurkers, but you forgot to bring your Overseers, you goof. Bring your Overseers. The army moving north for CoraZ and getting a good spread here. Here come the Overseers. Going to probably take out both of these Lurkers. Where are we going? Are we playing defense here, CoraZ? I don't know. Why are we going all the way back home? Man, look at all this larva that's not being spent for Cora. Is this hotkeyed? It is hotkeyed. Why isn't he? Oh, I guess he's maxed out. Alright, so never mind. Maxed out. There are some burrowed Roaches back here, though, trying to get rid of some stuff. But the Hydras retreat a little bit. Maybe they're trying to bait the Roaches out here. More spine crawlers coming up to prevent more Roaches from coming in, I think is the idea. Burrow move, though, right on top of everything. Spike, go the spine crawlers. Queen ends up dead, and she doesn't. She lives. She lives with, like, negative hit points there. 7 total hit points available. Burrowed Roaches end up dead as well to the Hydras, thanks to the support from the Overseers. And these guys are still alive. I thought for sure CrazyFrog would have been a move by now, but the army positions itself over here by the 5th base, trying to defend this income, even though not much is happening. No gas income and only 6 workers on the minerals. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you at this point, but both players are pretty much maxed out. CoraZ is getting an Ultralisk. I think that's really all he can afford with the amount of supply he has available, and +3 armor just about to finish for those ground units, as chitinous plating is finished as well, just making those Ultras so very, very tanky. You could still get level 2 melee attacks, though, CoraZ. You could do that. Man, look at all this available. Wow. I almost feel like CoraZ might just throw this army into something, kill a bunch of stuff, and then remax and come wreck face at that point. But CoraZ instead seems to be more content just to hang out at this point on the creep. And as soon as I say that, he moves out, trying to find a new home, trying to find a new place to attack, a new angle to take out his opponent, CrazyFrog, who really has come back from an untenable position. Was down to 2 bases earlier, 1-2. Lost this one entirely. Nothing else was mining, but you know what? Took bases, expanded like crazy, hoped he wouldn't die in the meantime, and it worked out. Sometimes you just have to do that. You just have to count on your opponent maybe not being as aggressive as you fear that they are, and in the end, things will be okay for you. But here's the concave, and are we going for it? Nope, backing out. CrazyFrog doesn't like the terms there. Burrowing Lurkers in. The Vipers scout things out as well in the air. Do not die to those Hydras. Don't do it. Here comes the army. Blinding Cloud kind of misses everything, unfortunately. It is Hydra, though, versus Roach and Hydra. Are we getting rid of the Lurkers? There we go. More Blinding Cloud on top of everything. Finally, Lurkers die. Overseers as well. The Roach Hydra army coming in from the north is actually devastating everything here, but the Ultralisk does have fungal growth on it. We're throwing out some infested Terrans, and I think we actually cleaned up CoraZ's army. Indeed we did. That was a cleanup, ladies and gentlemen. Overseers as well are dead. Ultras popping out kind of one by one, though. Not a great place to be. CoraZ, oh, has an Ultra at the back, ends up dead immediately. Ultra at the front, gets a couple swipes off, dies. Another one gets 3 or 4 swipes off, dies. This is not looking good for CoraZ, ladies and gentlemen. CrazyFrog with a big advantage. 8 Ultras in production, though, as well as 6 Hydralisks. This base is going to die. More reinforcements coming across the map in the form of Roaches. The Roaches do have +2/+2 upgrades, +3/+3 on the way for these Roaches and Hydras. Here comes the Ling Ultra attack, trying to kill what they can. Doing a pretty good job, actually. Not dying as quickly as I expected. One does die to the Acid Saliva Ultras, again with all the armor that they have, but only +1 attack. They don't hit as hard as you would expect, kiting back and back and back. All the Infestors are dead. Are the Ultras going to die is the question. One more swap. There we go. That one ends up dead as well. The Overseers chasing the army away, and the Roaches are in full retreat now. They don't want to stand and fight because Ultras tanking 4 Hydras is a pretty good composition. We do have some Lurkers sitting here, though, with 12 kills and 16 each. The Roaches are forced to continue retreating. In production, there are 27 Roaches from CrazyFrog, +3/+3 just finishing. I think we might want to try to kill this army if we are CrazyFrog. It's all this here is Ultralisks with +2 attack and +8 armor, which is alright. But here we go, going for it. A lot of spines, a lot of Roaches, trying to get that Blinding Cloud down, but kind of missing just a little bit. The Roaches do take out every single Ultra. We're forced to retreat with the Hydralisks and the Lings. Ah, get us out of here, get us out of here. And they do get to, back across the bridge and back to the safety of their home, but they lost this base. There's an idle, is there an idle worker back there? Nope, that's a mineral field, just kidding. Quick cough there. The Lurkers do get surrounded, though. I'm going to take out a lot of Lings in the process, and they both end up dead, but look at that. So many Lings have died. 278 Lings have died for CoraZ, 100 for CrazyFrog, but CrazyFrog has lost 108 Roaches. Yahoo! That's a lot of Roaches to die in his EBZ. Throwing up a random hatchery in the middle of nowhere is CoraZ. Not interested in taking this base, apparently. Would rather put a hatchery down here just for forward purposes. I don't know. Roach Hydra, though, is the display of choice for CrazyFrog. The composition of choice. Getting a Spire, though. So we might see some mutas. I do like mutas against the Ultra Ling composition. Neither of those units can really shoot up. If you don't have a lot of Hydras, kind of hard to deal with. Taking out Creep Tumors left and right. We are a hit squad against Creep Tumors. Probably going to do a big push down here as well. There are some Spore Crawlers trying to take out some Overseers. And everybody backs out in the face of a single Spore Crawler because I don't know why. I guess the army is moving down to meet it head on. CrazyFrog just kind of poking around. Doesn't really want to commit too much at this point, but at the same time, we're moving out again with Lurkers, with Ultralisks, and a few Vipers. Another base coming up for CrazyFrog as well. I think right now, officially, yep, CrazyFrog has more workers than CoraZ and more mining bases. That's not very good, but here comes or something to change that. Going immediately after the Spine Crawler, taking it down. Lurkers are burrowed. The Ultras get right in the face of everything. Blinding Cloud forcing a retreat. Refocusing on the hatchery, taking out all the drones as well. This base is gone. It is wiped off the face of the map. The army can't do much about it, though. They don't want to engage this directly on. There are Lurkers here. There are Ultras. There's Blinding Cloud that negates all of these Roaches and these Hydralisks. But CrazyFrog is not going to have his revenge. CoraZ retreats. Backs on out. Might actually do some damage here, but the Lurkers burrow in, and nope, CrazyFrog backs out. Says, just kidding. I didn't really want to engage. I just wanted to harass, so please forgive me. Man, holding these guys in place would be pretty good, but unfortunately for Ultras, they have really nothing to force people to stay where they are while they get hacked to death by the Kaiser Blades that now do 41 damage, which is pretty nice. More Lings and Ultras in production, but 14 mutas for CrazyFrog. That might be the answer he needs. Nothing here can shoot up except... Alright, I guess there are seven Hydralisks with +3/+3 for CoraZ, so maybe a little intimidating to Mutalisks that don't have any upgrades at all. Trying to head them off again, and both players back out. It is the dance we have seen so many times. It's like 7th grade One guy makes his move across the gym to talk to a pretty girl and then chickens out at the last second. Says it's not worth it. It's not worth my safety or my ego. And goes back to the side of the wall where all the rest of the boys are standing as well. Woo! 24-minute mark, almost the 25-minute mark. Another attack coming through here. Spore Crawler's ahead, but this time CrazyFrog does not back out. No, I'm just kidding. He does back out because the army comes from CrazyFrog, from CoraZ, to do a little bit more damage, just slowly whittling away at each other's armies. I don't think this is really going to work. Probably go up here and kill a base. Maybe you lose this base, but this is pretty much mined out. This one is brand new. I think this is the bigger threat, but another attack here. Ultras again. CrazyFrog refuses to hold still, forcing the Ultras up that narrow choke. They do back out again, though. And both players not super interested in just forcing entire engagement. Oh, that's why. Ugh, CrazyFrog runs into a ton of Lurkers. Ugh, 3 kills, 16 kills, 6 kills. Is that a 16 as well? Yeah, 16-16. A pair of assassins there for CoraZ. CrazyFrog hasn't been able to take this base at all. There's the Mutalisk flock, though, on top of everything. Going to try to kill this stuff. The Hydras, though, from the backside are going to deal with the Mutalisks in the air. But all of the Ultralisks and the Zerglings are taking down what they can. Kind of stuck in a choke here. The Ultras are not pathing super well, but at the same time, they're super tanky. Blinding Cloud making a lot of guys ineligible, and that's it. CrazyFrog's defeated. CoraZ is victorious, and CrazyFrog has left the game. So, pretty intense little ZVZ there. I guess there was another Ling counterattack that killed a bunch more workers. In all, CrazyFrog lost 39 drones. In this CVZ, was down 47 to 23 total. I think he recognized, saw the writing on the wall. The army was just too big and diverse for CoraZ, and that was it. So this has been FalconPaladin with yet another Daily Blizzard upload. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitch, Twitter, and Facebook, all at /FalconPaladin. Very easy to find. And until next time, as always, you take care of yourself.